Boom, and we're live. All right, here we go. Welcome, everyone. My name is Jordan Anderson. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I am a pricing coach for wedding photographers. If you are interested, and if this video is interesting enough, head over to theperfectweddingpackage.com. But don't do it right now. Let's watch this video. Let's get into this live stream tonight. We're going to be talking about something that feels old. And when I say old, I mean like 2015 old, but something that is still hot and effective, and we're going to put a 2021 twist on it, and that is how to blog effectively as a wedding photographer. We're going to talk about three major key core components, three major steps that you need to take when you are blogging about your past weddings that you had just shot. You come off from a wedding, you just photographed everything, you wrapped it up, you edited all the photos, you hand it over to your client, and now it's time to look back a little bit. And this is something that it can feel like a chore for some people, but this type of stuff, this applying these core components that we're going to talk about here and actually committing to consistently blogging about your weddings. And I'm not talking about like I blog once a week, I blog once a month. I'm talking about every single wedding you do, you have to, it's like clockwork that you finish editing the photos and then you immediately move on to creating a blog post. And with this blog post, the promise from it is that you're going to, it's basically like a miniature case study for your work. It's your portfolio. It is a way to increase your value, show off how talented you are, and hopefully ultimately improve your prices, improve your clientele, improve your prospects out there. So let's get into it. Let's kind of switch over to the magical slideshow that we had tonight. Brought to you by Google Slides. Thank you. Sponsored. No, I'm just kidding. So the 3 easy steps to blogging like a professional wedding photographer. I'm getting my thumbnails down. I have a motif. If you don't notice we're not gonna talk about Jordan. Shut up. We're not gonna talk about motifs tonight. All right. I need to make sure I speak loudly enough into the microphone. So the 3 steps to blogging. The main question tonight is, what should our goal be with blogging? I feel like it's there. With blogging, it feels you're not exactly sure. Is this something you should do? I think a lot of advice like this kind of marketing advice, you just hear it because that's what somebody told you to do, or that's just like the assumed thing that you should do. So what should your goal be with blogging? Blogging, I don't think, or in terms of wasting your time, if you're a business owner, and what's the best place to put your time? Blogging should not be, unless it is fun for you, should not just be seen as a casual thing or as an automatic thing. Blogging, if I will input or I will, brainwash you into thinking that when you're blogging, you're marketing. When you're marketing, you're talking about yourself, you're talking about your services, you're pumping up your value, you're making yourself seem better than what you, better than what you were before in the past, and now you're trying to push forward, it's all branding, it's all content marketing. That's how you should see blogging. So don't ever think that just like, this is my portfolio, this is me just showing off who I am, this is me telling my personality. It's all just like throw it through the lens of marketing, throw it through the lens of content marketing. What this video is not tonight, I want to make this, we all have to talk about what we are and what we aren't. What this video tonight is not going to be, it's not going to be about design, it's not going to be about what templates to use for your blog post, it's not going to be about which website platform that you should go about. That is overdone. If you're watching this video, that means you've probably already watched 10 other videos about blogging and how to be the best wedding photographer blog, how to make, you know what the tropes are, you know what is out there, you know what templates to use. I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about what design or what fonts you use or color schemes or how big your photo should be, or it should be in the grid or in a gallery or in a swipe file. I don't care. We're not talking about that tonight. We're talking about these. I want to break it down to I want to boil it down to the essentials of the core components that are really going to push it forward, make you have the most powerful blog post, the most bang for buck you can possibly have. So tonight's lesson, we're going to talk about number 1 is your clients. Number 2, we'll talk about your prospects, your potential clients. And number 3, we're going to finish off tonight with going beyond the blog. And I want to stick around for number 3, going beyond the blog. I think you're going to enjoy the advice I have for you on that subject. So let's start first with step number 1 tonight, pillar number 1, column number 1, lesson number 1, whatever. The first point I want to center this whole conversation around is your clients. Now, a blog post when you are, because it's a two-way street. The blog post about the project you just shot, a wedding that you just shot, is not just about your work. You are also putting on display the client that you just had. So let's first start there. Let's think about, when you're writing this blog post, the relationship between you and your current client. This is, in my mind, this blog post is the final touch point of the project. This is not the final touch point. This is not the final piece of the relationship. Hopefully this wedding client relationship will go on and on and on for months, for years. Hopefully it develops into a natural and beautiful friendship. That's always the goal with our business partners, with our business clients. But in terms of the closure to the project, I have, there's the business obligation. There are the contractual obligations you have set up between you and your client, the promise you have made. I'm going to show up, I'm going to shoot, I'm going to edit, I'm going to deliver some awesome photos, and I'm going to either physically or digitally transfer and give you those photos, and then you're going to have those photos. And then my final piece is I'm going to create a blog post. So this is the nice bow on the present. This is the final knot. This is the last hammer in the nail in the coffin of putting this specific project to rest. This is some closure for you. This is some closure for your client. This is the final touch point. So think about it in that context. Think about it if you are reminiscing. This is your journal post. This is I want to think about and remember this. This is kind of your time capsule, if you will, of the work you did, the project you had, and you're going to build up. We're talking about how to build the story, set up the story, break down all the components of a good blog post. But in a lot of ways, some photographers have such popular blog posts and such popular Instagram accounts that this is actually a selling point, or this is a value proposition a little bit. If you are popular enough, then you as the wedding client get to be kind of shown off a little bit. The wedding client, or the wedding photographer will make the blog post, they'll share it, and then you're kind of featured. You're kind of it's a nice little point for some wedding clients. They want to be kind of feel like they're getting a little bit of attention, feel like they're getting shared around, feel like, hey, I'm a little miniature celebrity for the week, and my wedding photographer's making me feel special. Look at this nice, beautiful blog post they made for me. Isn't this nice? If that's part of your client experience, and I think you should inject that into your client experience, please go for it. By all means, add that for sure. This is another way to say it. It's just like, it's kind of the final kiss goodbye. It's like, hey, thanks for working with me. I had such a great time. This was an awesome project. Here's all the great work we did. Here are some of my favorite photos. Here are some of your favorite photos. And here's kind of it's even possible that the bride and groom, or the couple together, just instead of looking at their own wedding photos, they just go to your blog post and just reminisce right there. Maybe the wedding videographer hooked up with the photographer and they shared the video links, and now you just have this kind of one nice big encapsulated just nice blog post. I would do that all the time as a wedding videographer. I would reach out to the photographer, hey, can I grab some of your photos? I want to throw this in the blog post. I'm going to link your name. I want to kind of make this a nice little case study time capsule for you, my client, the work you did, the work I did. Let's make this nice. Let's make this collaborative. All right, I'm talking too much. You get a little bit, you're what's the word, Jordan? You're going in circles a little bit. Now let's go on to step number 2, lesson number 2, your prospects. Okay, so we talked about at the beginning of this that this is seen through the lens of content marketing. I want you to see this all through the lens of content marketing, as this is a marketing case study, that this is a way to help your business. From the first lesson, having a better client experience helps your business for sure. Helps in terms of word of mouth, referrals, having long-lasting client relations. That is, we could stop there tonight. Just say that's a great way to run your business, keep your business going. Number 2, your prospects. This is a way that your prospects, this blog post that you have, this is how they are going to shop around. This is how they are going to browse. They're just looking at a photo with no caption, with no real story behind it or what the context was. It's just a photo. I can just go on Pixels, I can go on Unsplash, look up wedding photography photos, and it's just a photo. Doesn't mean anything. There's no emotional connection. There's no memory attached to it. It's just a bunch of pixels together that form an image that kind of make some semblance of, oh, it's a wedding. Okay, it's a bride. Okay, it's a groom. When you create this blog post, you want to build the story. You want to kind of create. I put it two ways like this. You are building up and you are breaking down. You are building up. When I say building up, you are building up the story in the reader's mind, in the minds of your readers, if you will. Prospect is going to go visit your site. They're going to read your About Me page. They're going to go to your home page. And then they're going to go to your work. They're going to go look at past weddings. What did these past weddings look like? Maybe they'll try to find a wedding that is going to be similar in style to what they are envisioning for their wedding. And they're going to look and they're going to read a little bit. Of course, they'll look at the photos, of course, but they want to read about what's going on. And this is your chance to have a bit of storytelling, maybe whatever your writing abilities are. I want you to kind of lean into this a little bit. Try to make some kind of nice, beautiful story. It's always cliche to say add some personality to your writing, but I think you should really try to build up the story in your mind. It was cold. It was rainy. It was beautiful that morning. The air was crisp. I had my gear in my bag. I was driving there. I got stuck in traffic. Once I got there, it was just like I stepped into another world. This was this wedding that I felt like I just went back in time. It was so beautiful. The old colonial house was decorated so beautifully, and the florist did everything well. And the bride's like, you're building the story. You're making it like you're living in that memory, and you want to suck in your readers, your prospects, your potential clients. You want to suck them into that world and that story and make them fall in love with that wedding and be like, holy shit, oh my God, this was amazing. This sounded so nice. Like, damn, I want my wedding to be like this. This is what I want. So because we all buy emotionally. We don't logically think of what's the right price, what's the right budget, what's this. We all think emotionally. So this is your chance to sell that emotion, to sell the story, to just really make it like, just like, oh, this wedding was so beautiful, and look, everyone is happy, and everyone is having such a great time, and there were no mistakes, and nothing. I never missed focus, and there weren't any bad photos at all. And you can have this yourself, wedding client. Here you go, prospective wedding client. You can have this. You can have all of this. So have them read through your post. They're gonna do some shopping around. They're gonna do some browsing. So let me kind of give you, when you're building this post, when you're building this blog post, here's some core pillars that I want you to have. Because what this is, let me switch back to myself. If you haven't already guessed by the time we've gone through this video, if you haven't already guessed this or understood this point, this blog post you're not blogging. You are building case studies. So I want you to take every lesson there is out there, every marketing agency, every firm, every engineering house, whatever, law, whatever. Look at case studies. Study how case studies are built, and let's go. Because again, you're not building. This is not a blog post. This is not an update. This is not a journal entry. This is a case study that you're building to talk about a great wedding that you had, to show and say, here's a great example of an awesome wedding that I had, and I was able to shoot, and this is the results I delivered. And you're selling that to the client. This is a selling piece. This is a marketing piece. I'm telling you, look at my abilities. Look at the story I'm able to build. Look at the emotion I'm able to capture. Buy my services. Buy my photography services. Click now below. So let's talk about the core pillars here. Take a screenshot of this, folks. Number one of the challenges. With any case study, you always want to start from the very beginning. What was the challenge laid ahead before us? Did we have plenty of time to shoot this? Was the bride nervous? Was this a last-minute rush job? Did it rain? Did grandpa recently die and we had to figure out a way to replace him, but he was irreplaceable? What were the challenges? What were going into this wedding? What was this couple facing that add some drama into this a little bit? It's just telling you everything was great and had a good time. That's not that. Save that for the end of the blog post. Talk about the challenges. What was They met here. This was the challenge. They were short on budget. They were short on time. They could not decide on what style they liked, and I had to help them. Next, you're going to talk about the story. You're going to build it up. You're going to talk about who are the core characters, who are the main characters of this story, who was a part of this story, and then set the scene, build the scene. You can do this through your photographs, of course. If you have some establishing shots, if you have some wide location shots, here's the venue, here's the florist, here's what the house looked like, here's what the honeymoon suite looked like, all that stuff. Here's what the cake looked like. Build the story. And of course, and then of course, show all the photos. The wedding was beautiful. The ceremony was this. They did this type of tradition. They did that little funny quirk. It wasn't that cute. Now, the third component is a client testimonial. And the biggest problem that people make with client testimonials is they make it so vanilla. They make it very bland, and they think that when a client says that you did a good job, that is a testimonial. That is not a testimonial. That is a subpar testimonial. I would not count that. Jordan is a great person. He was great. He was so responsive. He was on time. He is a good photographer. Wow, amazing. Like that's not a testimonial. That's just saying like I know how to do basic things. Like I know how to reply to emails. I know how to show up and take Google Map directions to a location. Like that's not a testimonial. I want results. And it's hard when because coming from like marketing world, business world, case studies can mean like we were able to increase revenue, or we were able to increase subscribers, or time on site, or user signups. Like those are like business tangible things. When you're talking about a wedding, it's hard to say like, okay, we were able to have this many tears, or like this many people cried at the wedding. So yeah, you can't really quantify that stuff yet. So you have to find out. A client testimonial was, did you, the wedding photographer, make the process easier? What were you selling as a wedding photographer to the bride? Were you selling convenience? Were you selling peace of mind, lack of stress? Were you selling speediness, great beautiful photos? Were you selling a memory? Don't think of features. These JPEGs were so sharp. I've never seen 4,000 pixel JPEGs this sharp in my life. Great job, Jordan. That's not a testimonial. That's talking. What were the benefits that you were able to deliver? Jordan was able to come in after we were, as a couple planning this wedding, we were so stressed out until we hired Jordan. Jordan made everything crystal clear and took a 2,000-pound weight off our shoulders in planning and getting this wedding off the ground. We could not have done this without Jordan, and the photos that he was able to capture we will cherish these for the rest of our lives, and we plan to give these photos to our grandchildren. That's a testimonial. That's the kind of shit you want. So be sure you try to get that. Try to get that somewhere from your client. Have that kind of conversation. Cue them up. It's hard sometimes to get testimonials, and it's especially hard to get testimonials like that. I'm dragging a little bit. I apologize. Number 4, let's talk about the results. What were you able to do? The results are the photos. Duh. This is your portfolio, essentially. Trim it down. Don't put every goddamn photo in your blog post. Do like max 20. 10 to 20 is a pretty good sweet spot. Don't skimp out and just do like 3 of the top 3, but don't give me 50 photos. The worst part I've seen with wedding photographers is they think, oh, I just want to see every single photo. It's like, remember, this is for your client. This blog post is for your client, but it's also for your prospects. Your prospects care about the work that you've done to some degree, but they don't care 50 photos deep. They don't care that much. So trim it down. Develop your skills of curation. What are the most, not just the ones that you like, or the ones you think that people will like, or that seem interesting or seem crazy, or start to fit or match the type of work that you want to get hired for. Remember, this is marketing. This blog post is meant to show the work that you want to do. And then finally, at the very end, that people always forget to do is a call to action, a book. Remember, your prospects are on here, so at the very bottom, and say, like, if you love this, or if this sounded great, or if you wanted to see more of this, book with me now. Put a little contact form, put a little contact button, whatever, phone number, contact address, email, phone, whatever. However you get contacted, put that at the bottom. Include that somewhere. Include that up in the middle. Include that up at the top. Don't shy away from the call to action at the very end. Oh, and of course, I almost forgot this. Don't forget to include your fellow vendors. This is not only a great way to show the work to your prospects, this is also a good way to show the work to your vendors. And they go, damn, that's what they were. I remember working with some photographers. They seemed very unassuming. They were kind of whatever. Their personality was whatever. And then I get tagged in their blog post, and I go, holy shit, that's the work that they were able to do. They seemed like they had no idea what they were doing. Damn, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember these people. That it's a weird flex sometimes to show off the work, but it's also very flattering too, to share and connect with people and say, hey, go check out Bob's DJ. Go check out Karen's catering company. Like, be nice, be flattering, bring more people in. It's a networking event. Come on. And then finally, let's get down to. Let me check the blog. Let me check. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Okay. Sorry. Just checking the stream, make sure no questions are going unanswered. Step number 3, lesson number 3, column number 3, whatever you want to call this. Let me get a sip of my drink first. Oh, you guys got to check out first. Before we finish lesson number 3, you guys got to head over to theperfectweddingpackage.com. I have been slaving away this week at trying to get this copy down, trying to get the design just right. I think I've got it almost perfected. I say that, and then tomorrow I'm going to change everything. But if you're a wedding photographer, if you are struggling with your prices, if you're in the off season right now watching this video and going, I know I need to raise my prices, I want to make more money this year, but I just don't know how, or I feel nervous, or I just can't seem to find the words to say to my clients that it's going to convince them to pay me more without feeling sleazy, without feeling like a salesperson. Like, how do I do this? Head over to theperfectweddingpackage.com. There you will download a template. And this template, I will promise you, does not include any formulas, does not include any spreadsheets. This is no math. This is a zero math, zero financial experience, no accounting in this in the perfect wedding package. This is a template that's going to help build up your confidence. It's going to help build up what you need to say, how you need to present your prices, and let's take it all the way to the very end, folks. Making more money. This is what I am promising. The promise you'll see at the very. Go to theperfectweddingpackage.com. You'll see the promise I have there that I can help you charge. I can help you not only charge, but I help you earn over $7,500 per wedding. Sounds crazy, I know. But if you don't see a change within 10 days, then the whole thing is free. All free. Total refund. You keep the template, give it to a friend, keep all the lessons, keep all the video lessons. It's all for free. If you don't see a change within 10 days, you'll be able to earn $7,500 per wedding. That's the goal. That's what I'm trying to help you with. That's what I'm trying to help you, because maybe you're hanging out in $1,500 land. You're trying. That was my whole world. I was stuck in $1,500 land. I could not break the $2,000 mark. I couldn't sell a damn wedding video for my life over $2,000, but I had to close down the business, had to just totally scrap everything, relearn how I did my prices, relearn everything there was about how to market, how to brand myself, how to have the right conversation. I had no confidence. I was a little loser kid who just was trying to flex and sell a $2,500 video, $3,000 video, and clients could see right through me. So I've been there. I've been that scared little kid, that scared, shy, introverted little wedding videographer. And maybe you're a wedding photographer out there who's shy, introverted, and you don't want to come off as sleazy. You don't want to come off as this just arrogant jackass who is just puffing out their chest, trying to be this cool, jazzy salesperson. Jazzy? Really, Jordan? Yeah, the word jazzy just threw me off. So go over to the Perfect Wedding Package. I'll show you guys how you can earn $7,500 per wedding as a wedding photographer. You don't have to have 5 years experience. You don't have to have 10 years experience. Be a seasoned pro. This can be your first year. This can be your first wedding. This can be your second year, whatever. I will show you guys how to earn $7,500 per wedding. I will help you get there. Go over to theperfectweddingpackage.com and check it out. Now, let's go over to the final lesson, number 3, going beyond the blog post. The blog post, okay, come on. We still got WordPress. We're all still using WordPress out here. We're all still blogging on our Squarespaces. Is that what we're still doing here, folks? We're all on, for me, like, are we on Medium.com? Are we on Substack? Where are we putting this blog? That's not what it's about. When I say going beyond, I'm talking about you need to install this kind of automatic response, this kind of automatic habit that you have, that when I complete this blog post, when I finish posting on jordanpanderson.com/blog or whatever your site is, that you have in place things that go beyond just some written words, some pictures inside a blog post. We got to go beyond that. It's 2021. We have to go, because this is the one point, the biggest point that I make is that wedding blogging isn't just blogging. And this other point, this other truism is that it's hard enough to get people to our site. You're telling me that I have to drive traffic to my site, and then I got to drive traffic to that exact blog post that they're like, I don't know anything about SEO. You're like, how do we do what? Okay, so we have to go where the people are. We have to go and find our customers. If our customers are on Instagram or browsing on Instagram or browsing on we have to go to where the people are. We can't just sit back, build up our little castle or little sand castle and call it our little blog post and click post, click publish, and think all our prospects, all our clients are going to actually find that website. They're not. So assume that you are not going to get 10,000 people to your site every month. Assume that you are not that website. Assume you're going to get 10. Now that you've made that assumption, how are you going to get 100? How are you going to get 1,000 people to that site? Or how are you going to get 100? Or how are you going to get 1,000 people per month to see your work? More importantly, to market yourself. How are you going to get it out there? I'm saying I put together a couple ideas for you guys. Number 1, podcast the wedding. It is so freaking easy in 2021 to start a podcast, create a podcast. It doesn't have to be it has to have market success. It doesn't have to be fucking NPR, New York Times, production level quality. It can just be you talking to a microphone and basically just an audio journal of the blog post of the wedding that you shot last weekend, 2 weekends ago, a month ago. It's just you and a microphone. Get your iPhone, go to anchor.fm, create an account, put the phone up to your head, put your AirPods in, whatever you got to do, and just start talking about the wedding. Take a couple bullet points, outline everything, and just talk about it. Another thing you can do on top of that is interview the couple. This is, in the process of you getting your testimonial from these people, interview them, put them on a podcast like this, and say, hey, tell me about the wedding. What was going through your mind? Okay, like show them the photo. Okay, you see this photo, and then it's like you can make it a video podcast and say, see this photo. What was going through your mind when I took this photo? Or were you guys stressed? Or did you even notice what I was doing as a wedding photographer? And it's like this, you basically make like a 45-minute client testimonial that is fun. Again, it's another client experience thing. It's even more flat. Like, to be on a podcast, that's even more flattering than a blog post. Just getting tagged in a blog post or tagged on an Instagram post. And you could do like freaking like what they do on The Bachelor when the season is over. You could just say like, hey, tell me about the honeymoon. Tell me about what's life like being married, or what was life like after the wedding. Just make it a freaking romance love. Like, if you love this shit, if you love and love weddings and the being romantic, then interview your clients, interview your couples, get their perspective, and immortalize them, basically. And then it's kind of funny because now your prospects can go and listen to the old episodes about, hey, I want to be on your podcast. Oh, that was so funny when you had Greg and Sarah on there. I love that episode, and they have such a beautiful story. Maybe we can be on your podcast one day. I'm just throwing out ideas because we got to go beyond just the basic blog. Interview the planner. If you're not going to interview a couple, at least make this some kind of vendor to vendor. A good friend of mine who was in the wedding videography world, he would go and do little miniature documentaries of all the wedding vendors that he knew, and he built up a little network, and now he has like a nice little network of all these people that they know him personally, they refer him business, and he was able to make a very nice miniature documentary they could use as a commercial piece, some content for them. Interview the planner. Get to know what's inside their head, because remember we talked about this last week, that the planner is the middleman that you need to get in bed with and figure out, how do I get access to your clients? So maybe flatter them. Put them on your podcast episode. Shit. Come on. Let's play the game. Let's play the game, folks. Again, some more ideas here. We're gonna wrap this up now. IG stories, YouTube breakdown videos. If you're new to YouTube and you don't know how to do YouTube, and you're like, I am so nervous about this. I see a lot of people that are a lot of wedding photographers make YouTube channels. They make 1 or 2 videos and they stop. Every single video, do what I'm doing right now. Get on OBS. This is simple. Do a little screen share. Put a little PowerPoint together of all the photos and talk about your reaction. Talk about what's going through your mind. Talk about the gear you used. Make it a photographer to photographer content, or make it some prospect client. Like, show off your expertise, show off your experience, show off your portfolio at the same time, and then call to action, send them to your website and say, hey, if you like this stuff and you want to book a wedding with me, book it right here. Go to Jordan Anderson Wedding Photography, whatever. It's like, come on. Getting excited. And again, YouTube breakdown videos, podcast case studies. Thanks for watching. Damn it. My name is Jordan Anderson. This has been a great episode of how to go beyond the blog. These are the 3 core pillars of an amazing blog post. Remember, let's recap, folks. Number 1, this blog post is about your client, your current client. This is the final kiss goodbye. Thank you very much. I've had a great time with you, and let me show you in this big old hug and kiss that is this blog post. I'm showing you the work. Look how beautiful you are in this photo. Look at and build the story, draw the story up, and break it down. Number 2, where this blog post also, in the lens of marketing, is for your prospective clients. This is for them to shop around, browse around, and go, damn, that looks fucking good. And then you, as the wedding photographer, are building up the story. You're breaking everything down. You're selling the emotion. You're selling the story. Build it up like a movie. Start with the core problem. What were the challenges? Who were the main characters? What was the family dynamic like? And then what were we able to achieve? Here are the beautiful photos we were able to knock out of the damn park. And then, and remember, don't forget to add that call to action. And then 3rd, we need to go beyond just the simple blog post. And I didn't mention Instagram because it's fucking obvious, folks. Like, yes, post a couple Instagram stories, post a couple Instagram posts. No shit. Make it a little bit more creative. Interview people on your, make it a wedding photographer podcast. Interview the bride, interview the groom, interview the couple, interview the wedding planner, interview your vendors. Make it a nice little episode. Do a YouTube breakdown of your work. It's okay. It's not being like self-serving, like self-masturbation kind of, look at the work I did, look how great this was going through my mind. People want to know. I'm a young photographer and I'm watching this, or I'm a prospective bride and groom and I want to watch how you think, how you do your work. Put it out there. Show the world. It's okay. This is what the whole point is. This is marketing. This is showing people how valuable I am, showing people that this is the work I can do, and this is how beautiful we can make your wedding. And this is why I'm worth it. Because when you build up this fanfare, when you build up the story, when you build up the brand, when you build up the excitement and emotions, it makes everything seem more valuable than what it actually is of you just clicking a camera on you just pushing a plastic button on a piece of plastic rubber and having some digital computer make a photo. That's not what you do. You create emotion, you create story, you create excitement around the work you do. So thank you guys for watching. Head over to theperfectweddingpackage.com. Go check it out. I can help you guys earn at least, I'm putting there, at least $7,500 per wedding as a wedding photographer. If not, if you don't see a change in 10 days, you get it back for free. Whole thing's free. On me, baby. Woo! Okay, my name is Jordan P. Anderson. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on Wednesday. And yeah, let's end it here. I'll fizzle out like that. Yeah, my name is Jordan Anderson. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.